In my own opinion, shadows to strength mean that we should not keep quiet. We should come out of the closet and speak up.
Standing up and dusting yourself.
For me, shadow to strength embodies resilience.
One inamaanisha meaning you are in a strength in life.
Let's say you're in a dark place or things are not moving the way they're meant to move, but then you find strength in whatever thing. It could be a small thing, but you find hope in that thing. And then that you cling on to it and it brings you out of it and you find yourself in a better place and with people that are like-minded.
Shadow to strength just spoke resilience.
This network is an organization that works with the community, especially the youth, and we do capacity building in different thematic areas like human rights, leadership, advocacy. We also do research and gender and development. Shadow to Strength came as one of the recommendations from the research that we had done on human rights advocacy against police brutality in Kenya. This research was conducted in Nairobi and in Kisumu. So one of the recommendations which came out was to have an exhibition whereby artists will showcase their work advocating against police brutality.
I got an opportunity to be a researcher and now engage with my fellow creatives to understand the impact of activism on police brutality.
We found that in Kenya, police brutality majorly affects people living in the marginalized areas. So we identified some of the police brutality, which includes shooting, those police beatings, excessive use of force, and enforced disappearance.
We mentioned why it was important to actually have an exhibition as a result of everything that we did, and thankfully they took that recommendation up, and as a result we were actually able to do an exhibition which embodied live concerts, embodied the visual arts, murals, photography, all these things brought together with the focus of exploring the impact of activism on police brutality.
One of the major impacts that we had is we brought together a large number of artists for them to showcase their work, which was done at Kenya National Theatre. So they were talking about how police brutality affects the community. We also had a panel whereby we had experts discussing protecting the population against police brutality. Then we also talked about how policymakers, the policies which are in place that can be used to ensure that the police don't use excessive force. Then of course we had people who were affected and they were sharing stories, how they have been affected, the community they work with, and some of the using an armed civilian protection mechanisms such as advocacy, such as trainings that they bring together the police and the community to ensure that they are all on the same path. So that the police don't look at the community as them versus us, but how can we be united in purpose so that we can bring security back to the community and the people can have a better engagement with the police.
Crime si poor but mob si justice, police brutality mtani manze jo still a crisis. Jesus Christ, zile job walitu promise manze jo ziko wapi.
My biggest highlight of this event is that it's a nice platform to campaign against the police brutality, and I think maybe from this we can make a difference out of it.
I work at Part 254 as a project officer, and one of the things that we do is to use art as a tool for social change, and I loved today's event because it was mainly focusing on art to fight police brutality.
Police brutality,
The topics we really need to address, there are issues that we really need to talk about. Something like police brutality, I feel like it's a topic that has been neglected, especially the mashinanis, people from the ghetto.
Saa zingine unaongea tunakupata kwa mtaro. Saa zingine unaongea tunakupata kwa gunia.
Watakuloko, watakuloko. Sometimes if you don't have money, hakuna mtu anakusikia. So I felt like it was a conversation that needed to be done. The conversation that was happening, the panel discussion, and seeing real people who have undergone the prejudice or anything, the discrimination, it makes it even real. It makes it real, yeah.
I remember hiyo time nilikuonesha maboi ama waine, my close friend waliuawa. So it was so personal to me, yeah. And I love the way when you bring out.
Kioko Musyoka, 17 years, Form 3. Aliuliwa na polisi saa 11 ya jioni. Na hakuwa peke yake, walikuwa vijana 8 ambao walikuwa wamekaa kwa mkutano ya garbage collection. Wakaitaniwa na one of village elder. So ile kitu hakujua ni kana kwamba anaitania hawa wetu na wake bado wako hapo. Kijana wake ndiye alikuwa wanane.
It so happened that coincidentally around the same time, AZ went for a Mashujaa concert, and he also got shot as a result of the same. And to have him on being part of Shadow to Strength and pushing through even through the pain, it was just humbling, a humbling experience to see. And to also work with King Khadija. There were light moments during the showcase, and the artists were able to bring that forth. To see Arabian artists play like the traditional instrument, the flute, and still perform was beautiful, infusing spoken word with different elements. The band, of course, the When Music Band, Nile Daughter herself. Need I mention Nina Tanya?
We say, burn Babylon, burn Babylon.
Julius Mad Art did something in line with, he drew, he's a mural artist, and his painting really spurred a whole discussion around democracy and governance, and likes of Felicity Moody's with her very emotional poetry, and she blessed the stage for us because she's the one who started. And Boniface with the photography, it was beautiful to see how he was able to bring us from the 1900s all the way to date, and how photography has played such a huge role in championing for human rights.
Multi-party struggle, it started with this commission, and in this whole process, what led to the formation of this process was the political violence that we saw in Kisumu.
It was legendary to work with the legends in Kenya this far. Everybody we worked with gave their 100%, and they gave their heart out. The stage design was mind-blowing. In fact, I remember we were scared to have the body bag representations on the stage, and very many people who did such a brilliant job, like the volunteership team. And the MCs and moderators, man. I feel like they had so much. They were in tune with the panelists, DJ Calv 254, and he made it easy for things to be seamless as we were prepping from one segment to the next. Thank you so much, Wayesu and Brian, for the tech work that you did during this period. The welfare team also did a good job. One Shambak, he ensured that even the DJs ate, my people, and the production team ate. In this segment, people were able to draw what police brutality, the trauma they've experienced as a result of police brutality, how they felt in the past, and then currently in the present, how this conversation feels for them, and of course in the future. And it was able to bring out so many conversations around mental health, around healing, you know. And I'm so glad that we had that segment, because then the audience was also able to pour out their own experiences. We trended at position 1 at some point with Shadow to Strength. And for me, that showed how important this engagement was and why it is key to include the arts in these conversations that bring about policy change, and also just allow for heartfelt discussions to actually happen and for people to heal in the process.
Today's event, Shadow to Strength, was a much needed event, or like a space for us to go to. And it's because in as much as we were learning a lot and getting statistics and all that, I think it's a common ground, because we've been to maandamano, we are being killed, there is extrajudicial killings unfairly. So we're being killed unfairly. We don't have a place where we can air our voices and commune together and heal together. So today's event was exactly that. It was providing us a space for us to talk, communicate, and at the same time music or using art to heal ourselves. So yeah, it was really lovely.
This event met the objectives that I think we should have, and especially it has talked about various things from police brutality and how we should speak up, we should not keep quiet.
My favorite was spontaneous. Hiyo imekuwa na performance nini mwenye melalapo. I remember by that time or 2022 kuna pia niuliwa mbele yangu. So
Never run away, never run away. Walk firm on your feet and lead the way. Never run away, never run away. Let the Most High protect your days. Never run away, never run away. Walk firm on your feet and lead the way. Never run away, never run away. Let the Most High protect your days.
I was really humbled to realize that this event served both as a trigger and a healer. Because people talked about, when I was listening to this poem or when I was listening to this song, I remembered losing my passion to police brutality. But when I was engaging in the art therapy session, then I had the opportunity to release. So I think that's one of the biggest things as Peace Tree Network we were able to do. We created safer spaces for people to be able to talk about the issue of police brutality and dig deep in terms of from the pain and to find healing in the process. So I believe that was one of the major key impacts. Physical attendance span from, as per our registration, we had around 180 people come in, plus the team that's around 30. So technically we had 200 attendees coming in for the showcase. The other impact I also saw was when a Young Blood Bleeds got to be screened in Kenya. And this also fueled a whole discussion around when we were asking for recommendations and feedback from the audiences. There was an immense request to have Shadow to Strength tour the whole country.
Our next step is we have different programs in place. We are thinking of doing economic empowerment programs. Also, we're doing different kinds of trainings. We're talking about leadership trainings, peace building trainings. When we talk about peace building trainings, which is core of what Peace Tree Network does, we try to teach the community mechanisms whereby you bridge the gap with the person you're in conflict with. There's need for more space for artists to be part of the peace building process, because it's an alternative form of an armed civilian protection.
Democracy, I call it democracy.
So for me, the call to action is to make use of these artists, the tools that they have, the experiences that they have, which they put in these creative works. It will enrich even the peace building and armed civilian protection mechanisms that are already in place.
We are open to partnering, and we are open to financial support, and we are also open to social capital. Hopefully when we have the support, we will be able to take Shadow to Strength to different regions in the country. Why not do a whole tour globally as well? Because police brutality is not just a regional issue, but it's a global issue.
Kuna vile nasikia uchungu, maumivu imeanza kuzidi. So itabidi nimewachia bando manze mimi niende ofisi ndio.
When I think about the way forward, I can't fail to recognize the people who've made this journey possible. Of course, I want to start with Peace Tree Network itself for birthing the idea, and thank Creating Safer Spaces, UCP, and for having Hekima University engage with us in the research as well. The art exhibition would not have been possible without the support of Power 254 for sharing their pictures with us that were depicting the situation during the Maandamano protests. They also provided the Power Radio.
The works are going to be shown online, and I think it's very important that we showcase this around the world so that when you're talking about police brutality, it's not only something which happens in Kenya, it's something which happens all over the world. It's important that we also bring the police on board. How can we have open dialogues with them? Because they are our brothers, they are our sisters, they are our fathers, they are our family members. So what are some of the challenges that they go through that when they're in the streets, they're trying to secure us? How can we make their work easier for them so that they can protect us, and as well as for us to play our role as citizens? Something which we need to look at is also for the policymakers. We have a lot of policies. How can we operationalize these policies that are already in place? What is missing? That is something which we need to figure out and see what is missing, and how can we play our role as a civil society, as artists, as citizens of Kenya, as the government, to ensure that these policies are being enforced, and when they're being enforced properly.